All right, welcome everyone to SQW number 30, a newer day.
Newer day.
It's a two-man tag team this particular week. This would be the perfect time to have our grudge match.
Yes. For all the
We've
marbles.
got a pay-per-view coming up all the marbles. It's winner take all, the undisputed SQW champion of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the two of us. We tied after the last pay-per-view. Technically, I didn't get pinned or submitted, so I still say I am the rightful champion. But
what a heel thing to say.
But that's why we have to have a definitive one-on-one match at Extreme Rules.
Not unlike the great feud between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon as the co-champions. One claiming the crown, one the actual champion.
Yeah, we've each got a title belt. Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, CM Punk, John Cena. It's all the same.
It's all the same.
It's identical, 100% identical. There's no. But so we figured there's a pay-per-view this Sunday.
There is.
It's me and you, and this week's just head-to-head.
Mono.
No, there's no foil off on a third wheel in this match.
No distractions.
No distractions. Nobody's gonna sneak in and just take the belt from either of us.
No one to break the pin up.
Just a good old-fashioned grudge match.
One fall to a finish.
Exactly. So I think that's unless you have something you really want to talk about, I think you can just sort of go right into Extreme Rules and sort of talk about how maybe just how the pay-per-view is shaping up. And
yeah, sure. I mean, I will make a comment about how there's seems to be a lot of multi-man, multi-women matches these days, which is I guess is that kind of season or that kind of result from a few missing champions and injuries, but hopefully it all adds up to something unique. So
I can't remember because it came up in Observer or Figure 4 that that's the exact reason why there's been so many multi-man matches constantly is because they're just on cruise control until the summer. They've got champions are gone, champions are out. There's nothing really going on right now, so they're just on cruise control until they can start their SummerSlam hype, which will start. I mean, I don't know if it's going to start after. If for SmackDown, it'll start after this, kind of, because you got Money in the Bank and stuff coming up, but for Raw you still have Great Balls of Fire coming up. So that's pre SummerSlam, but
I still can't say that name without laughing or chuckling a little bit. It's just ridiculous.
There is nothing you can say to shorthand it either, because you can't just call it Great Balls because that's not any better.
Yeah.
And you can't there's no GBOF, what? that sounds like I don't know. That's terrible though. So
yeah, I mean, you could always call Great American Bash the Bash.
Yeah.
So at the balls, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm gonna meet you right in the balls.
This weekend at the balls, we're gonna because there's even can you just picture anybody seriously big? Can you picture Brock Lesnar saying that title out of his own mouth? Even the Undertaker, if he was still around, saying "I'm gonna meet you at Great Balls of Fire," there's it's so terrible.
At Great Balls of Fire. At Great Balls of Fire, you will rest in peace. Really? No.
Yeah. Yeah. Steve Austin saying "Great Balls of Fire" would kill ratings. People would turn on Steve Austin if this was the thing that was happening.
Exactly.
there's no easy way to say it. There's not like one word that you can sort of cut out. You just can't call it fire. You can't call it balls because that's
great. It's great.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's the Frosted Flakes of wrestling events.
Frosted Flakes, yeah.
So that's what the future holds, but that's well down the line past Extreme Rules, which is this Sunday, as we've established, and the main event for that is setting up Great Balls of Fire. So
yeah, I mean, we can start from the bottom of the card. I mean, I'm sure the big tag will probably be our opener.
Yeah, that's if not the opener, like it's one of those like, does that make it to the main card, or is that going to be the pre-show?
Oh, match sure, yeah. I always forget the pre-show stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because they always one match that looks like it's going to be on the card always gets pushed to the pre-show, and it's not a big card. I mean, it's 6 matches.
Yeah, it's not very big, no.
Yeah, it's not very big, which means one of the matches is probably going to go weirdly long. But especially if, like, you don't want Neville and Aries to go to the pre-show again.
No, especially when this is probably the blow-off to the feud.
Yeah, so of everything on the card, Rich Swann and Sasha Banks versus Noam Dar and Alicia Fox. That's probably going to be the pre-show. And I mean, what do you think? Who do you think's got that one?
Boy, I don't know. I mean, I guess they're trying to get some of the rub from Sasha Banks on this match just to bring it up a bit. But I think Foxy and Dar are going to win this one.
You got Fox and Dar.
Yeah, they need the heat. They need to heat those guys up. So,
I was gonna go the other way. I was gonna go with Sasha and Rich Swann.
All right.
So out the gate, we were already on.
Imagine this match.
I forgot. Yeah, this will be it. I forgot that I have to be the keeper of the notes here, so I'm going to.
I'm doing it as well. So
I have it here. So John, you went with. I'm just going to go Fox. I'm just going to shorthand it on my end, and I'm going with Sasha. Because let's be honest about this feud, it's all about the women in this particular feud, because nobody cares about like the feud between Dar and Rich Swann. This is all about the women in particular in this match.
Well, those guys have traded enough wins that it kind of has diluted itself anyway. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is just putting Sasha in a holding pattern at this point. Like, it's like everyone's like, okay, we've got they started sort of working the storyline of Sasha turning on Bayley, but never went to it, and you assume that something will happen after this weekend, depending on how the outcomes go for certain matches and what have you. So. But that storyline's always kind of lingering in the background because it's happening. Sasha's going to turn heel very soon. So
that's right.
So next match on the card is going to be Neville and Aries in a championship submission match. So
all right,
this is one of those weird ones where the cruiserweight division isn't stable enough really to be so certain that the title's going to change or stay behind or whatever. But I'm just gonna go with my heart on this particular one because I want Austin Aries to win that title so bad, or at least get a spot here. So I'm going with my heart on this one, which has always been the worst possible choice for me to make on these, with the exception of Jinder Mahal. I went with my heart on that one, and but yeah, I'm going with Austin Aries on that one.
Okay, Austin Aries. I haven't really made up my mind on this one. I'm gonna have to go with something because I mean, what if Austin doesn't win this? What's really next for Neville? You know.
Yeah.
So, but if Aries wins, then you'll at least get a rematch out of it, and you'll at least get, you know, I don't know, he might get a chance to face a couple of heels that are trying to get up a bit. So, I'm gonna go Aries as well.
All right.
See, it's time to pay off. It's time to pay off the feud. Whether Aries keeps it for a long time.
And it's sort of been if the cruiserweight division in general is that they kind of don't have feud payoffs anymore. Like right now, like everything's just sort of in constant motion. Like it's just like a feud will spiral into another feud without ever sort of wrapping up the previous feuds, or like we're still in the middle of Kendrick. Like they're still sort of doing their thing from time. Like they haven't had a pay-per-view match or anything, but they're still just sort of doing that thing. So
I guess if Neville did win, Tozawa would be the next. Is probably the next natural contender,
right? Like as the babyface contender for that title.
Yeah, and he had a pretty good win over Kendrick.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm trying to. I think I'm changing my pick.
You're changing it.
Yeah, Neville's going to retain, and with Tozawa coming up as the next challenger.
All right. So far there hasn't been a single agreed upon match on this particular.
And you're picking Aries
card. Yes. So
okay.
Next up here we got the Hardys versus Cesaro and Sheamus. What do you got? You go first. I go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my heart on this one, and I'm gonna go with Cesaro and Sheamus, beating them in the match that they picked, that the Hardy Boys picked. The Hardys have won all the singles matches. I think I don't know if they've lost at all. So I think Cesaro and Sheamus, they got a good look going on. They need again to be heated up a little bit. I'm gonna go with the Hardy. Oh, sorry, Cesaro.
Cesaro. That's funny because that's exactly how I wrote it in my notepad over here. And you know what? This is the first one that we agree on this one. I think based on just pure storytelling alone and how this feud has been going, it seems like this is Cesaro winning this one. Like
I don't think the Hardys need the championships, and
they don't. And I like with the WWE still like. Some reports are saying they don't want the broken stuff, but like Meltzer is like, yes, I absolutely do. Because why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? Yeah, that's fair.
And so they've got plenty to work with, the Hardys, and as long as they're in the WWE right now, they will always have something with or without the titles, just like the Dudleys. The Dudleys titles in their run here, and then their most recent run, but they were still relatively over and made a lot of money for everybody involved. So they'll stay in the title picture. This won't be their last title run for sure.
Oh no, of course not. I mean,
I don't know how long their tenure is. Like the Dudleys, when they came back, felt like a year-long kind of thing, like from the beginning. Like this is just sort of a thing. Like with the Hardys, it could very well be a year. It could be 2 years. It could be because we don't. At some point they're going to split them because they love Jeff Hardy as a singles performer.
Yeah.
And
sure.
And if they get they kept going back to him against better judgment. They kept going back to Jeff Hardy. And if something can happen with the broken stuff, Matt Hardy will have a really wonderful singles. They have staying power in terms of as together and separate. So
sure.
So we both agree on that one that it's going to be Cesaro. Egg teams floating around too right now. We're in the middle of breaking up Enzo and Cass. Like,
You mean the revival or a red herring? No, say it ain't so.
I know. Like, they just will not let tag teams stay tag teams. Like, they want Cass as a singles performer so bad that they don't care that they're just gonna have Enzo flounder around for the rest of his career in the company until he leaves and goes to wherever the world leads him. Like,
Can I give you a hot take right now?
Go ahead.
Solo Cass is not going to work.
Nope. No, he will not. He is a great big man in a tag team.
Yeah.
He's
the hot tag.
Yeah, he's a great hot tag. He's the equalizer, you know. Enzo takes the beating, Cass cleans up kind of situation. But whenever even when they have solo matches now, it's half a match, and it feels that way because they're tag team guys, and they can't do the half that the other guy does. And you know, Cass has charisma, Cass has size, Cass has a lot of things, but he just doesn't have that raw talent needed to be in the thing. And like I like them as a tag team. Like, it's going to be really, really sad. It's going to be a bummer when they're not a tag team, which is clearly very soon. And like, because they're so. It's nice to have a tag team like that again. Like, it really, you know, they get compared to the New Age Outlaws a lot, and of that right now. Like, it's just a charisma team that, you know, takes advantage of being a tag team. It's just not two wrestlers that both wrestle. They're a tag team. Each one specializes in a different part of.
Yeah. I would prefer them both to go heel and work as a heel tag team, like instead of splitting them up as such. Because I just you said Cass has the size, you know, and he's a bit over, but I just don't think on the mic he's cutting it, and I don't to be a heel, and I don't think I've never seen him work a full match that had any interest in.
Yeah, and clearly, like, you could easily just have Enzo be his mouthpiece. And I think Enzo is his passion level for professional wrestling, if it's the act of wrestling or just being a wrestler necessarily. But like, Enzo would be a great mouthpiece for Cass or something. Like, a heel team, but have him be, you know, his manager or something. Like,
let him take the bumps and protect Cass, and you know, like, in terms of what goes on in the ring, and you know, give him some heat, and you know, Bobby Heenan
let them stay. Let them. You could easily just let them stay a heel team, but still have Cass do the solo stuff, because that's what they want Cass to be. That's the role they want Cass in, is to be a solo heel for whatever reason. But you know, to that when it happens, because it's happening. We see it every week. This is the second time that they've done this whole thing, and you know, it's sad that it's coming, like, with both guys with no direction. Like, after an Enzo Cass feud that'll last 2 months. Then where does Cass go from there? Braun Strowman? Like, he's already a heel, so you can't have. It's just gonna be him beating. It's gonna be like a bully thing. He's just gonna be beating up smaller guys or whatever, because that's what they like to do with big wrestlers.
I mean, by the time Braun comes back, he'll probably be babyface by then anyway. You know, he'll make his big return and be babyface by default.
Yeah, I mean, WWE's leaning into that right now as it is. So
yeah, exactly.
So we have next on the card is the women's kendo stick on a pole match. Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. It's like a Russo booked match, you know, just anything on a pole is.
So the basic rule of the stick on the pole match, it isn't that if you get it, you have sole control of the pole. If you pardon the alliteration, but you just have. You have it in your hands first, and the other person could use it.
Yeah, I mean, that's not how it's supposed to be, but that's how it is. Like, no matter what. So, I mean, it's supposed to be you get it, you get to use it, the other person can't, but it's not like it's a no disqualification match or something. So
That's right. Yeah,
it's
I don't know. I like some of the physicality in this build up, but I haven't liked the promos very much.
Yeah, it's been well. This is I think I said it on Twitter this week. This is the second major Bayley feud in a row where of the feud has been ha ha ha. Bayley's a fan of wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, it's like all of Monday was just sort of making fun of her for being at one point a teenager. Like it's this
you're such a little girl fan.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing. Like what you want Bayley to be, you just make fun of it's not working when they do that stuff. Like it worked fine with Charlotte because you buy it from Charlotte. Like that Charlotte's like her dad is Ric Flair, so she was destined to be a wrestler. She was this is her ordained right to be where she's at. And Bayley just is Bayley, and she take my crown from me kind of stuff. Like, with Charlotte, you buy it. With Alexa, it doesn't feel that way. It's just,
no.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, based on just pure storytelling alone, Bayley's winning this match. Like, she hasn't gotten the upper hand one time in this entire.
What we used to call beatdown theory. If beatdown theory holds true, then Bayley should get the comeuppance.
Yeah. So I'm going with Bayley.
Okay.
On this one because I mean I'm just gonna stick with beatdown theory, like we said.
I'm going Alexa.
Yeah.
I'm going against the theory.
It should be like a modern WWE. That's exactly how it is. Like the heel has had the upper hand this entire time and still has the upper hand. Like it's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is going to be Alexa. I think this might be the Sasha does the big Uber babyface match in the opener, and then comes back and turns the tide on this match. I think this could be the one. She costs Bayley the match.
Yeah, I just feel like they've been building up too much about Alexa getting hit with the kendo stick and she hasn't. Like, to not pay off on that is a very bad sort of move.
She'll get it. I think she'll take it.
But it doesn't mean anything if it doesn't lead to a victory. It's just she got hit with the stick finally. Okay, yay. So another one where so far we've only agreed on one match.
Only one.
Only one, the tag team match. We will. I don't know. We might agree on the next one.
I think we probably will.
So I picked first this time. So you're going to pick first on this one.
Okay.
This is The Miz in a singles match for the Intercontinental Championship, and if Ambrose is disqualified, he loses the title.
Yeah. I mean, the finish of this match would appear to be completely transparent. Why wouldn't Maurice just whap Miz across the face? And I'm fairly certain that sort of the stipulation wasn't used on SmackDown, but certainly the concept of Miz keeping his belt via disqualifications was used a couple times, I believe. So, but that being said, I think Miz this is Miz's chance to step up. I'm going to go with Miz wins, maybe not by the way we could presume, but by some other means.
If you go by this as well, so I was right. We were going to agree on this one.
Yeah.
I am. I'm not going to say 100%, but I'm relatively certain that it's like if the disqualification angle comes into play, it's going to be the Drifter.
It could be
because like and so one of his recent songs was like an eye for an eye kind of thing. Like, so like I think it's going to be against Dean in that disqualification situation recently. So I'll get you the victory, and then like the Drifter will do his, like, it'll lead to a thing and stuff.
Look at you with the fancy theory. Theory. That's good.
And they will find a way to get Maurice out of the picture before, like, you will think that she's going to get the disqualification, but like the ref's going to be like, before it even happens, like the ref will, like, the one time a referee is smart and saying, you know what? No, we're not going to risk this. You're leaving now.
Yeah.
So
yep, that's fair.
Yeah. So we both went Miz on that one. I assumed we would.
Mm-hmm.
That just gets him his 7th Intercontinental Championship. And when you don't have Lesnar around, as you know, that's good to have. You have to have, you know, a heel champion somewhere in this thing, and like Miz being around with the belt on, being the Miz as possible is it will at least interested. At least, you know, like, people are interested in the Miz again. So
yeah, and I think we have a bit of a surplus of baby faces as well. So with who need something to do.
And they know full well that no matter what, with or without belt, that Dean Ambrose is always kind of just there for them.
Right.
So he's always somebody that they can just lean on. So Dean Ambrose is lucky enough where he doesn't need the title. Like, it helps to put somebody else over to have them beat Dean Ambrose, because people like Dean Ambrose. Like, he's not the best, and his shtick's gotten tired, but he's over, and he's over. He's very dependable. He doesn't really get hurt. He's always puts on a show no matter what. So he's always ready to play. Like, so good for him. Like, you know, he's got a good gig. He's got a good gig in the company right now. Like, world championship reign. He's never going to get that again. But
not on Raw, anyway.
Yeah, certainly not on Raw. But that's going to lead us into the main event
of the evening.
And this is the 5-way Extreme Rules match. So it's a no disqualification 5-way match for the leadership against Brock Lesnar. So
the match of a million variables and booking possibilities.
I'm just prefacing this. I have no fucking idea.
I'm much the same.
Pardon the language. I try not to swear, but I don't know. Reigns, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, and Samoa Joe. All 5 of those people sort of can rightfully be placed in a position of number 1 contender. Like, there's not one weird outlier that's like, the closest to being an outlier is Samoa Joe, and
he's no gender. It's not.
Like,
gender was the outlier in that match, but with this one, like, it all depends on how you think. Like, you have to look 2 steps ahead in order to think about it.
It's a. They're not going to sacrifice Roman Reigns right now.
Now you're saying that based on the idea that whoever wins this will face Brock and will be beaten by Brock at Great. So
because they are you have to in order to make a pick like this, you have to fantasy book. There's no 2 ways around it, because you have to think in your head, like, are they going to have the title change at Great Balls of Fire? I don't think so. It feels like Brock Lesnar's first title defense being a loss that's not WWE right now with Brock Lesnar. Like, if he's gonna lose the title, and it's gonna be at SummerSlam, because that's their big show these days. Like, that's their that's the big show for me and you. Mania is the big show for everybody. SummerSlam's the mark show, essentially. Like, so.
Question: is there another Raw pay-per-view between Great Balls and SummerSlam? I don't think there is, right?
I think so. No.
Yeah.
So,
but there is Money in the Bank for SmackDown, and maybe
Money in the Bank for SmackDown.
Yeah. Okay.
Which
So, yeah,
that was one bit of news we could have touched on just a little bit. Was they did announce an all women's Money in the Bank
of course,
match.
obviously, yes, and that's about time. That's really.
Yeah, I'm glad that those gimmicks are sort of rolling in now, like for women's matches. Like you're getting ladder matches, cage matches, Hell in a Cell. Finally, like it's only a matter of time before they do like Rumble kind of situation. Like they don't have the breadth of roster to really do a Royal Rumble, but it'll be like at Royal Rumble there will be a battle royale for #1 contendership or something. Or
that's right.
I still think they need to do Queen of the Ring, like do the tournament thing. Like that's the Mae Young Classic could have easily been that if they wanted to. Like do a tournament. Like you've done King of the Ring so many times. Just that's just how it's going to be. Like to prove that they're just as good as the men now these days. Like we're hiring actual women wrestlers, so they can do these gimmick matches that the men have always been doing. So
that's right.
So it's good. It's good that we're getting that. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be interesting to see how they book that match. Hopefully they book it better than they did the Hell in a Cell match that they tried. So
yeah, hopefully. But a match like that does have a chance to the Spot Fest is
Spot Fest women's matches aren't really a thing in WWE, so to actually have the potential for that is kind of super interesting. So
for sure,
there should be a cool spot in that match, and if they don't book a cool spot in that match, they sort of just blew it. So
pretty much.
We're just wasting time at this point because none of us actually know who's going to win this #1 contendership. So at this point, like everyone has the right to be there, and like and then you start thinking about other people. Like I really. Finn Balor up against Brock Lesnar right now.
Yeah, I do. I do too. I also like the idea of Joe against Lesnar. But I don't think Joe is quite there yet in terms of a main roster presence.
I don't know how WWE sees this pay-per-view. Like, how do they actually see Great Balls of Fire? Is it a big event to them, or is it going to be one event removed from being like Beast in the East or something, where you had like Brock Lesnar versus the Big Show for why I don't know, but let's do it anyways kind of situation. Like,
so it's not going to be a Kofi Kingston versus Brock level squash.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like the booking for Brock has sort of been all over the place lately. Like. You had the whole Goldberg feud, and that they were able to drag that on for months, but like, tell where exactly they want to be with Brock Lesnar right now. If booking wise plays out the way kind of people think it would be, which is Roman Reigns won't win this match, but he gets the SummerSlam match,
right?
You would think that in terms of storylining, he would absolutely squash whoever he's fighting at Great Balls of Fire to really sell Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. And so that, like who can stop him kind of situation. So, and if that's the case, your best bet for that kind of match is unfortunately Bray Wyatt. Like, he's the guy that will lose at a pay-per-view, and WWE has no problem having him lose in a pay-per-view. And I don't think it'll be Finn Balor because they've sort of teased it already, and that just sort of seems like and every week Finn Balor keeps looking smaller and smaller. Like it's just. I think I made that joke recently on this same show, but you put him against Paul Heyman and he looks tinier. Like it's just like it's him against side by side against Brock Lesnar right now before he's really established himself as being a top tier performer in WWE, because he's only had a handful of main roster matches.
He has, yeah.
Like really just a select few matches on this main roster. One of them was for the championship, but you have to actually put him against Brock Lesnar, because you put him against Brock Lesnar and he's going to look like he should lose, and then he will lose, and that will ruin Finn Balor from here on out. Like,
well, I mean,
unless you book him strong, like in the match, like actually have him like not necessarily get squashed, like put up a fight, maybe not necessarily hurt Brock, but like is giving him kind of situation or whatever. Like,
well, I mean, the story you could tell with Finn, if you're willing to carry it forward to something like SummerSlam, would be he wins this match, he loses in a valiant effort at Great Balls of Fire, but then I mean they really haven't mentioned or shown much of the Demon for Finn Balor.
Yeah,
and the Demon is often in NXT anyway. It was the last resort. This is how I overcome my obstacle. Is I have to go Super Saiyan. I have to go Super Saiyan.
Yeah, and exactly. Yeah.
So could that lead to a match at SummerSlam? The Demon against Brock Lesnar?
Like have him lose as regular as Finn Balor, and then do the Demon
as Fonzie Balor, and then go on to demonize him. Yeah. Now that's a story they could tell if they wanted to.
I keep forgetting because Raw has just been so unwatchable since the Superstar shakeup for me. Like, I still watch it, but none of it sticks anymore.
Not much of it sticks, no.
Who is Bray Wyatt feuding with right now? Because I know he keeps interrupting somebody, but I forget who it is.
He jumps in and out of stuff. I mean, similarly, I mean, Bray is the heel who could probably lose and wouldn't kill him off. But I think Seth Rollins is the babyface who could have that match and lose and not really killing him off too much either. So I keep popping back and forth between Seth and Joe, of all people. Like, I just feel like it will be a trial by fire kind of situation for Samoa Joe. Like, WWE will throw him into. Like, Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe have, for all intent and purpose, the same wrestling style. Like, it's a lot of sort of suplex and grapple based kind of toss your opponent around kind of situation. Yep.
So the only real difference is Samoa Joe has like some submission game involved in there, which Brock obviously he just has wrestling stuff in there. So
Brock did have
he does the Kimura
for a little while.
Yeah. A terrible Kimura too. Like, it was not a good looking Kimura. Like, like you were actually in MMA. Like, I can give it to the Undertaker when he tries like his Hell's Gate or whatever. Like, you're trying an MMA thing there. It looks terrible, but you're not an MMA star, so it doesn't matter. Brock, you were actually in the MMA. Like, you were actually in the UFC. You should be able to really look you should look believable when you lock a Kimura lock on somebody. Here we are. I don't know. We've talked about every possible scenario and they all make sense. That's the problem. Like, every single match makes sense. Even Roman Reigns, where we have our SummerSlam sort of, he's going to be wrestling. I don't even think, actually, you know what? Roman Reigns, it's not even SummerSlam that they kind of have set aside for him. It's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, Roman still needs to clue up things with Braun, depending on when Braun comes back. I'm not sure if Braun will be back for SummerSlam, but that would be a marquee match for SummerSlam. So, I mean, again, I know Braun was supposed to be out 6 months. I don't know if that's a legit 6 months or not. So
is it a legit 6 months, or is it man, look what Roman Reigns did to Braun kind of situation? Like,
or Braun, he came back early and showed everybody that he's tougher than
the
doctors could say.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make your pick. I think I've settled on my pick. If you want to go ahead.
I'm just gonna go. It's not so much a Hail Mary as it is like I just have to commit to something, and I am going to say that I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins.
Oh God, that's my pick too.
It seems like the safest match.
Yep, it's the safest pick.
It doesn't hurt anyone involved. Like,
mm-hmm.
like if Seth loses, he loses. Like, he's got so much more going ahead. He's over. He's it keeps him in the picture, which he needs to be in at all times.
Yep, exactly.
Like just because he lost doesn't mean he's down and out, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lesnar match right now would really damage Finn.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Samoa Joe's a favorite of like right now of like winning this thing, which I buy that. Like I said, trial by fire kind of thing. Just throw him in there and see if he has it, and if the fans are into it. But like, Seth is a safe pick for this brand new crappy pay-per-view title, and since Seth versus Brock is a match that's happened.
Yep.
And there's history there, and it's good for the lazy booking that's going on right now while they try to. It's a match that they know is good and will sell. Like, people will see it. So
and people and Rollins is over, as he's a babyface. So coming out of this with a win, we'll end the night on a high note. And he has the history, and him losing to Brock again in another valiant effort will make him look a little bit better as well, right?
Yeah, and he's the I love you guys to the fans babyface right now, so that will also help with a loss. Like,
and if they book it right, finally get him some more sympathy.
Yeah, make him have it like it can't be a Brock Lesnar squash match. Like, Seth needs to hit his finishing move at one point on Brock during the thing.
Yes, he has to hit it. I think Brock needs to hurt him, though. I think to really get over not squash him like I beat you easy, but hurt him in the he can't get up.
Yeah,
despite his best effort.
With Seth's new modified Rainmaker move that he's doing these days. Like I'm glad they got rid of the pedigree, because that story's done and gone at this point. But jeez, something better he needed, but So we've got all our picks.
We got our picks.
So we've got on this that let's see, 1, 2. So I was like, we got to make sure that if half the matches we agree on, you have the chance for for a tiebreaker to really be a thing, and that's exactly what's happened. So half the matches we agree on, and half the matches we're on opposite ends on. So the main event with 5 people, we both chose the same guy, which doesn't help the cause at all.
No.
But at least there's 3 matches that can sort of.
And the Fatal 5-Way is not elimination, right? It's just one fall.
I forget. It's got to be, right. I don't know what fatal means anymore. Like it used to be Fatal 4-Way was always something different than like a regular 4-Way or whatever. So
I haven't heard them. I'm as I mentioned, I didn't get to see much of Raw this week, so I'm not sure if they touted the word elimination anywhere. But
Yeah, but I think it's first. I think it's first to a finish kind of situation. Like, so
Yeah,
I think that's what Fatal 4-Way is. So yeah, so let's see. We've got just to run them back over again. You're picking on the mixed tag match. You're going with the Alicia Fox team, and I'm going with the Sasha Banks team. I'm going with Aries. You're going with Neville. We both got Cesaro. We both got Sheamus Cesaro. I'm going Bailey. You're going Alexa. We both got Miz and both got Seth. So
okay.
So no matter what, just between 3 matches because we're going to tie no matter what on the 3 main card matches. So
one of those 3. Yeah, odd picks will be the decider. So there's no chance of a tie here. Yeah.
So mixed tag, cruiserweight, women's championship. Those are the 3 matches to if you're playing the home game of SQW championship. Get your a souvenir guide out. Your and fill it. So not much chance of a. Well, there's actually no chance at this point. There's going to be a winner on this one.
There you go.
So it's we will have an undisputed champion come Sunday night. So to that, I don't plan to go quietly. So
better polish up my belt there, buddy.
Yeah. So that is our predictions. They are set in stone. They are saved forever and ever and ever, both audio and in a notebook. So I don't have a thing to seal up our things in. So you're just going to have to assume that I've created a password on you can't see it because it's washed out, but my iPad here. So we are good to go.
Yeah.
This grudge match will see a result. This is the big blow off to do it finally. So with no outside interference.
No interference. That's right.
And I'm not naming names, but the person may not be here right now.
Our co-host is barred from ringside.
Barred from ringside. He's
in a shark cage above the ring.
Exactly. So if you're listening to this right now, that's right. We're talking. We're throwing shade at you. Means that Great Balls of Fire. He has the potential to. I guess which one? It would be great. No, Money in the Bank will be next.
Money in the Bank. Yeah.
So Money in the Bank will be next. So he has the potential to. On this ripe opportunity.
That's right. Cash in. Yep.
So, all right. I think instead of rambling, we should just sign off at this point.
Right.
So
we'll call that one a done show.
We'll call that one a done show. Let's just give our usual post-show wrap up. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at _double_letter_J. John, where can they find you?
I am at John Kehoe, JONKEHOE.
And as a collective unit, you can find us at SQW Podcast. And always like us on iTunes, subscribe, tell people about it, force them to listen. Don't be friendly about it. Make them listen to the show. It's really the best way to get somebody to listen to a show is to be aggressive as possible, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So
turn up your sound system and open the windows for God's sake.
Yeah. Go on a road trip and lock the car doors, lock the windows, and just blow it through the Bluetooth system in your car and just make them listen to us talk about wrestling. It's really the best way to get new subscribers, I've learned. So. Absolutely. So that will do it for this week. We will see you. I know people have plans coming up, so I don't know when those are, but hopefully next week, me and you will at least have some shows sometime. I start a new schedule, so weekends are going to start being when this show goes live. So we're still working on that.
Yeah, trying to figure out a good time for that guy.
We're trying to figure out a good time on that, but hopefully, if we can find some time next weekend to do our results show. If not, you and Dolly can obviously do the results show, and I will have been injured at the pay-per-view or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out on that. But you have injured.
Caught up in a snowstorm. Had travel issues.
Travel. My visa was revoked. Something. We're doing the podcast out of Europe next week. I'm not allowed out of the country. Something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But
maybe Freddie Blassie took your other eye.
Yeah, exactly. All right. But until then, which we don't know when that will be, but it will be.